Now sir is located at his JNAANAM, and sir is sitting in front of it at Kannur. That is also a great scene to us. Sir, I don't know what to tell. I have no words to invite you, sir. That much love and respect is there, because sir was one of the most inspiration for me when I was working in the training college at Adimali. And after that, my ways were ahead. I think because of the blessings of sir, my PhD guru, Dr. Vedamani Manuel, and my spiritual guru, Dr. Nitya Chaitanya Yedi, on behalf of IGNOU Regional Center Kochi, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to deliver your speech and your words. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram. Thank you, Jalaja Kumari, for this beautiful introduction to IGNOU. I was there in IGNOU Regional Center long back on a teachers training program. As Jalaja was mentioning, we met somewhere in 2006 when we had a conference together in Ottapalam on education. And then subsequently, I was meeting Jalaja Kumari at her place, Adimali, to teach the B.Ed students. Today is a great day, basically because my inspiration for youth, or probably I decided to be part of a social service, taking motivation from the great soul of India, the spiritual wisdom soul of India, Sri Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was a different man with a vision who could foresee when India is going to be independent even before the politicians started thinking about independence. No politicians, no Congress people talked about independence, but Vivekananda said 50 years from now, India will be independent. Exactly 50 years, the prediction came to true. I was blessed to be part of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence in Hyderabad. Almost 12 years, morning and evening, talking to youth. That was quite accidental. Like I'm facing people all across the globe only through some small references. Jalaja Kumari was connected to me through education, but I think the connection between me and Jalaja Kumari is Nitya Chaitanya Yedi. The Yedi's disciples were staying with me. Yedi Charitam was written by Shaukat, was a guest of me in my home. Joseph was very close to me. And there are a lot of spiritual connections which makes us to meet each other. Probably Swami Vivekananda had a great spiritual connection to the whole India, not individual to individual. He had a great spiritual connection to the whole soul of India. That's why probably in the whole world nobody would have told. If you want to know the nation, excuse me. If you want to know India, excuse me. That was the word Vivekananda told once. You can get the kadal, the essence, the spirit, everything from Swami Vivekananda, what India is. All of us take birth as individuals. But individuals doesn't make a nation. The concept of nation comes when the individuals transform themselves into a citizen. The Vyaktitva development, that is most essential. And that Vyaktitva development happens during the youth time. Probably Vivekananda understood this long back. Though he predicted the independence of India, he was also feeling India is not matured enough to become independent. He said India has a great disease. It needs to be treated well. Where did he get this inspiration for, or the medicine for the treatment of India as a whole? He has traveled all across India from corner to corner. From the northeast, he has reached the southwest of India, the Kanyakumari, swam across the sea, the rough sea of Kanyakumari, jumped onto the top of the mountain, small rocky mountain, and history must have written around that and then created that mountain as a monument, which is now called Vivekananda Rock. But that was a barren rock where people were not dare enough to go, where Vivekananda stayed 3 days, 3 nights, 2 nights and 3 days. That long stay, the people who were not dare enough to go and meet him at that rock was waiting at the seashore, asked him, "What is that you were thinking?" He said, "I need to prescribe medicine for the disease of India." And what is the disease of India? That is Tushni Bhavam. What is Tushni Bhavam? All of us wake up in the morning, but we are not really waking up with the full spirit and energy. And that time in which we pretend that we are sleeping is called Tushni Bhavam. So Vivekananda said, the biggest trouble of India is this Tushni Bhavam. Every person is up, but we are not. We are living, but we are not living. We are not living a life. When we look back to our life, we feel that we have not used every bit of my time. We have wasted a lot of our time thinking that we are living, pretending that we are living, but not living neither for the individual, for the self, nor for the family, nor for the society, nor for the nation. So what are we doing? We have to take this great message where if somebody has to put in one single line, Nimisham Jolitam Sreyam Nadu Dhumayitum Chiram. Don't live like a smoke, be like a fire. And that was Vivekananda. Each word which came from Vivekananda was a spirit for the empowerment. And that is probably the reason now the Youth Day is being celebrated in Vivekananda's name. The National Youth Day, the Indian youth, the opportunities for the empowerment. The topic given by IGNOU. I must thank all the IGNOU officers, regional director, and those people who have taken interest in connecting with me, like Prasida was talking to me the other day, connecting me and referring Jalaja for this session. I understand I am talking to the institute or talking for the institute where people are enrolled for higher studies. Maybe, I don't know the exact number, maybe around 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is the enrollment probably in IGNOU now. I'm also an alumni of IGNOU. My MBA, Master of Business Administration, is from IGNOU, specialized in human resources. And my thesis is very special because I did a knowledge management of ISRO. How knowledge of ISRO has to be documented perfectly was my thesis submitted to IGNOU, which was ready to publish, accepted in the IEEE journal, in the international journal. What we have is a lot of knowledge which is not being recorded well. We have a lot of knowledge around us, a lot of education institutions, IGNOU being the largest university in the world in terms of enrollment, but I don't know in terms of output. I should not talk in terms of the output which comes sitting in the IGNOU platform. But as a matter of fact, if you look at what is happening in the whole world, what is happening in India, in the new education policy, I must have given thousands of lectures, being invited in different universities and academic institutions. Pathetically, we must say that nothing much is happening. Because we have the largest number of people flowing from India for education abroad. Where is the opportunity for empowerment? If 0.4 million people are traveling to US, Canada, equal number in all other countries together, and look at the merit of education being given by other nations, starting from probably Canada, New Zealand, Australia, up to South Korea. We don't come in the few number of institutions which probably once upon a time in the BC period before computers or before Christ, we were one of the best where we could give a lot of opportunity for the rest of the world to come and get educated. Now our youth is migrating to the different part of the world because of two things. They are not too much keen on education, probably. They are too much keen on the job opportunities, the great living standards which they provide, the freedom which they have, the income which they get, the market in which they can explore themselves. And probably we must say that in India has a lot of inequalities which is still present. If I must have traveled all through the last 1 year, if you take it, I have gone through the northeast, southwest, to the northwest Punjab, to the north Shimla. All these places we see an entirely different situation. It is not that cool and calm as we think. I remember when 10 years back, India celebrated 150th anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. I released a book, and that book is called Raising of India by the Rays of India. That was released in Telangana, Bhongir, where I had 112 students across the pan India, probably from Hamirpur NIT to Kanyakumari. We had contributors who contributed articles. I got a student who is sitting in front of me who contributed an article, who was also part of this organizing. Anusha is here with me. We found last approximately 60 articles I could put into the book form and release it on 150th anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. Now today we have passed 10 years from then. My question to the youth of India through all the social media was that topic on which I am talking today, the opportunities for empowerment, the India youth. But my question was slightly different. My question to the youth was, give me a vision, give me a mission, give me an action. 200 sentences to be written, words to be written. Probably write 100 words about mission and mission, vision and mission, and tell what action you are taking. Out of 120 articles, each and every article I have seen, everybody starts with a negative statement saying India is not clean, I want to clean it. I made sure in this book there is no negative statement about India. I said, remove that. There is an opportunity for me to clean India. Don't tell that India is not clean, right? If somebody says India is poor, I keep saying no. Don't use the word India is poor. I want India to be more richer. Start from a positive thought. So what is lacking in youth today? I said 0.4 crore millions of people are traveling. We have got 40 million probably enrolled in India, and in which, if you look at the youth power, is 60 percentage. Less than 35 age, probably 60 percentage. Between 18 to 25, we have 50 percentage of the youth. That means they are eligible for higher studies. You ask them, why do they want education? Do we have a real statement of purpose? When they join for higher studies, we should have a purpose. I was executive director of an engineering college in between for 2 years in North Kerala. I only have circulated a small bit of paper and then asked them, tell me what is that you want in your life, where I am educating you to become a BTech in different subjects. A small quarter paper. Ask them, write down what is that you want in life. 99% of the people gave the paper back because they have no aim. That means we are leading a nation where those people are supposed to lead the nation tomorrow. We are leading a nation where the youth is supposed to lead the nation tomorrow as leaders with no aim and no idea of why are they getting educated. They have no idea why they wanted to become part of the nation building. They have no vision, they have no mission. That means our basic education has failed in doing it. The new education policy came into picture. Maybe in the next 10 years they will become youth. Tell me how many programs which are projected by new education policy which says informal education. I know that I am talking to the institution which runs only higher education, but understand the people reaching to higher education needs a strong base, and it should start with the age 3 up to grade 3 minimum. Up to grade 7 we are supposed to know me, my life, my neighborhood, and the life around my neighborhood. Look at the syllabus and see whether it's really happening. Look at the number of CBSE schools. Probably maximum number, Kerala it is very less, only around 1200. But if you look at 20% of our CBSE schools are in the cities. Look at what is the syllabus they are being followed. They keep saying NCERT syllabus they follow, and LKG, UKG people also advertise, keep saying CBSE school. Understand, it's a daylight cheating being done by the education system. CBSE is Central Board for Secondary Education. It's a start from 9th class. But a nursery student is also being tagged with the CBSE. So what I have done, not during the new education policy, it's almost 18 years back, I started a small school in Kerala, which is called Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam. Take care of children from age 3 to grade 3 for the development of their linguistic power, language skills. Dr. Jalaja is a linguistic person. I'm sure she will agree. Language skill need to be developed from childhood. Different languages, not one. Any child up to age 3 can learn 7, 8 different languages. And arithmetic skill, logical reasoning, analytical skill, interpersonal relationship. All of them, I wrote 4 books in the last month released in Delhi. This is only for teachers training program in the early childhood education. And 4 books which are named from A to Z. The last sentence comes from Z. A to Z divided into 4 books. What does it talk about? Our youth have got a great role. Those people who wanted to get a lot of money, probably education is one of the best business in India. But today that is being done only in quota factory or crash course. After plus 2, preparing students for entrance examination, a great daylight cheating being done. If nobody has seen these 2 series, one is the crash course and the quota factory on 2, Amazon and Netflix. I suggest all of you to see that and see the pathetic state of education system being propagated in India. Who has to call, who has to ring a bell against this? I think the youth wanted to empower themselves, get into education, because I am talking to an educational institution. I said education is a good business, but do it very fairly, but not like online programs, but like interacting with the children, teaching them. This is one of the greatest teaching training programs for which I have authored a book. It doesn't start from the youth development, doesn't start. If the manufacture is not good, maintenance cannot be good. So there is no point in maintaining youth if from the pregnancy you don't do. So this is a book authored for taking care of children from the pregnancy time, so that the development of linguistics and the DNA pattern comes very clear. This is on the mental health. I'm so glad that Jalaja was mentioning about the psychological part, which I do a lot of things. And this is from age 3 to grade 7. That is where the normal education has to be understood. And this is for teachers and the parents. All these books will be available online and people can contact for the specific training programs on this. This is what I am investing my time now on this. The next book on mental health is not printed yet. That is for grade 8th to grade 12th. So I'm sure those people who have got a great ability to understand any problem and understand the trick of solving this, That is logical reasoning, analytical skill, mathematical ability, language skill, interpersonal relationship. Their intellectual, emotional skills will be best. Why we are having problem of suicidal problems, depression problems among the youth? Because our education system has not taken care of the emotional part of the students. It's not that one psychology teacher is kept as per rule and then nobody consult with them, or the psychology teachers find difficulty in the teachers who are teaching mathematics, probably because psychology teacher don't understand mathematics, right? So I think we must have a collaborative, supplementary, looking at problems, sitting together. I'm quite aware that it's a huge number of people who are enrolling in the education system, and you cannot make children to fail. So people are being passed without even proper testing. This is like somebody has a disease, getting admitted to a hospital, and the doctor refers to a higher doctor without even giving a primary treatment. What will happen? The normal disease become chronic disease. So what is happening to the higher education system today? Most of the people who are coming to higher education are half cooked, half baked, and mentally handicapped people who don't understand the subjects. That is why we have to really call for a drastic great change. I'm sure IGNOU can do wonders, because you have got your presence throughout India, everywhere, across the states. Therefore, the central and the state government, the tag of conflict between what is happening in education with, normally I think IGNOU has got 280 number of programs being run, and it's one gigantic institute in which these sort of programs, I'm sure, have to call for a very, very serious issue, which this subject, opportunities of empowerment. The empowerment not through education, not through soft skill, not through hard skill, not through the emotional, physical, the yoga asanas. Yoga is not asana. Yoga is yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, where a mental state should come. Whatever job they do, they must enjoy doing it. What is lacking in the youth today, if you look at the happiness index of India, is too low. That is because everybody is in a sad mood. Education itself has become a big burden, because we are giving education, we are giving knowledge without even telling what is the objective and scope. I remember when I became a student of IGNOU, I found there is a beautiful 2-3 pages written on objective and scope of which course. I don't know which university course, which school education has got beautiful writing. At least I know how people have read it, how many teachers are reading it. We must have a very specific child care from then grade 3 to grade 7 education system have to be, and understand the youth have got lot of potential opportunities for entrepreneurship by themselves, so that the CBSE syllabus can take care of the children who are all programmed for the development of the individual to the citizenship. If we can make such opportunities for people, they find education itself becomes a big business. Otherwise, education doesn't become a business. Education becomes a business for those people who are not connected to the problem, unconnected, unrelated people. So I found a lot of opportunities through education. I can list out different areas. See, for example, we have got tourism programs. If the general knowledge of a person is not good, I remember when I was working as a management professor in Hyderabad, during the last Viva OC, after submitting all the project report and all that, I was there for a Viva OC, and then what I did was, I have got sometimes some jokes like this. I asked one question to one student. That was on January 25th. The Viva was happening on January 25th. I asked the student, he was an MBA. He was an MBA student. My question was, what is special for India tomorrow? That means on January 26th, what is special for India? The student have no answer. You can imagine somebody gets a degree called MBA, even without knowing January 26th what is special, because it's out of syllabus. MBA doesn't demand that knowledge. You can still get an MBA degree. You can still get a BTech. That means our whole education system from the childhood doesn't reflect on the higher education what we get. We have generally asked, what is your background? I strongly believe people have to remember their background, not just the foreground degree what they get at the end. If that is not there, any formal degree which they get, any degree which they get just becomes a stamp for getting a job, which is quite useless sometimes. So I'm sure India needs another great example. I'll tell you. For a Viva same MBA, what I did is I drew the map of India and then given and then asked, locate where is Delhi and where is Bombay. The student is not able to locate where is Delhi and where is Bombay in the map. That means you have no general knowledge. No general knowledge about the Indian geography. You can see my book on civil service prelims handbook. I also have got some students, aspirants who comes to me and then I guide them through that. You can see some of the YouTube videos very specifically on only civil service guidance, very specifically on how to read newspaper. What is lacking in the India? The other day, in the central city of Hyderabad where I'm staying, today I came, just landed at my home at 10:30. I'm starting this program now. As Jalaja said, this is my JNAANAM home. I was in Kannur airport, just landed today from Hyderabad. Yesterday and day before yesterday morning, I was driving in the early morning. Believe that 5 years back, there were a lot of newspaper stands available here and there. You could pick up newspapers. But today, I've driven at least 10 kilometers around the city. You don't see a newspaper stand. That means people don't even read newspaper. There are no people who have habit of reading newspaper. You imagine a student of IGNOU, assume that when you come for the Viva, ask them one question, when did you read your last newspaper reading, when it was? I'm sure they will have no answer. They will say, no, we never read a newspaper. Imagine for whom. If we have no feeling for the society, how can a human being be called a social being? The habit of reading newspaper, the concern about what is happening around my world is lost. Yeah, TV programs are fantastic. We have got a lot of entertainment programs. Look at how many hits are there on news, or how many channels are there on which real education happens. IGNOU also have got I was part of Consortium for Educational Communication. I was trained there to create multimedia programs. Those, all the DD dedicated for education have no viewers, and we have to close it. Most of the IGNOU programs, UGC programs, most of the CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication programs, where the education is given through the television, has been closed. Don't tell this is because the internet came and people are able to access. Internet would have come, TV would have been gone, TV would have come, books would have gone, but still people are there who reads newspaper and books. So those habits we are not able to inculcate in the youth. All books are quite useless today. So unless and until we make children to write reviews about books, make them to understand everything what they listen, what they hear, soon after this lecture, if nobody is able to make a gist of what happened during this discussion and send it to me as a note on my telephone number, searching my name DrTPS, and somebody says, oh, I heard you on 2024 on Youth Day, I will tell them you are useless, because soon after that you don't even know how to communicate. Communication skill is not giving lectures. Communication skill is responding. Responsive citizen. It is not reactive citizens. It is not reaction. It is not action. It is response. So what is that youth to be empowered? The youth is to be empowered for responses. Responses on what is happening around. If there is a response for happening around to happen, I'm sure you must open your eyes to the newspaper. You must open your eyes about what is happening around the world. The other day, I was seeing a small video on which a monkey is being caught in a place and trying to escape. It's a beautiful video. The video is almost 20 minutes. But imagine somebody is using a mobile phone to record that program instead of saving the monkey. The 20 minutes beautiful video. You see the youth. The youth thinks that it is a scope for him to produce a video, get maximum number of hits, and through which he can earn a little. Probably his Instagram has got maximum hits. It's pity. It is pity if you don't have that humanness inside you. So I talked about social being, and I'm talking about human being. Being human, human being, that is more important. Otherwise, we are like two-legged animals. Manusharupena mrgascharanti. Like a human being, somebody is moving. So we have to have a physical strength which gives happiness. Externally, internally, emotionally, have a strong brain to understand. So physical, emotional, intellectual, and the social. With today is the day of Swami Vivekananda, who is a great spiritual being. He lived only a few years, but those few years, he doesn't take much time to read a book. Just open a book, go through this, and then he will say, ask me questions, I can answer. That was his intelligence. It is not because of intelligence. The spiritually connected to the poet who writes poems. We are from Kerala. We are writing or talking about this. I am contributing my YouTube from my great friend, a very senior friend, N.N. Menon from Cochin, who is describing Bhagavad Gita in Malayalam, which is Kunyikutan Tamburan's translation. There is a great saying about Kunyikutan Tamburan's poetical aspect. The poetical aspect of Kunyikutan Tamburan is, if any Sanskrit poem is given, if half of the book is rotten and then lost, the half book is only given and the half lines are missing, Kunyikutan Tamburan could just fill it up. And people used to wonder when they see the original and compare it with the what is contributed by Kunyikutan Tamburan is exactly matches. And then if somebody asked him once, how could you do this? Then he said, poets can think only in one line. So I'm sure that is the greatness of the poets which we had. Now today ChatGPT started writing poems. The ChatGPT started writing paragraphs. The essay is being written by somebody. Book is being written by somebody. I'm so proud and glad that I have published my poems before ChatGPT came. Otherwise, I'm sure if I write a poetry, somebody will say you have made ChatGPT to write it, right? So this happens. You have to reflect. You have to be highly creative. Every human being have got a great ability to understand life and the rhythm of life, the enjoyment of life. The rhythm of life can be enjoyed with all the raga, tala, bhava only when you live in the nature, with the nature, stay with the people who are creative. It's a great satsang which make people to think entirely different. I'm sure this can happen with few people, with few initiative. And that is why I left my job and came back to my village. And today, 12th, it's a great day. We start with a small camp. We have got the 10, 15 people here. We stay here one week. And that 1 week, what we do is we explore. What will we explore? Explore the creativity. Explore the joy. Explore the knowledge. Explore the society. Explore the culture. All these different fingers, 5 fingers, physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual, connected to the root of each one of us. If we can find the root of each one of us, I'm sure there is a kathal. And that kathal is that enjoyment which is in the stream which runs through the generations, with the name of the river being same, connecting different geographical positions, geographical places. The water is different, the name of the river is same. Similarly, India is a great concept. India is a nation, it's not a country. Every individual youth who runs as water drops in this great nation, India, must understand I am taking the spirit of nation. As the great Swami Vivekananda had the spirit of India within him, if we can imbibe a little bit of that spirit, I'm sure our life has got a purpose. We believe that we have lived. Otherwise, what will happen is one day I will also die. My dead body also will be kept on the firewood. As per the ritual, my son is supposed to fire my dead body and he will chant Vayuranilam Amritamadedam Basmandam Shariram Om Krito Smara Kritam Smarami. If he knows the chanting, that is what is to be chanted. Oh Papa, oh Father, I am going to fire you, because all fathers will fire the children in the life. They get a chance to fire us back, the last. While they fire, they ask a question. Krutos marami. Think what is that you have done in your life. What is that you have done in your life? Kritam smarami. Tell me what is that you have done. It is not that I produced you. It is not that I kept 3 houses for you to live. It is not that I gave bank balances to you that every animal can do, every bird can do, every small creature can do. But what extra human being can do? I am quite useless if I am not useful for the society. I am quite useless if I am not useful for the nation as a together. So understand there are great things to be learned. The opportunity for empowerment is learning this spirit of nation, the being the youth of our life, the being the youth for my generation to come. Nyan Padi Devam Padi. There is a saying in Malayalam. Nyan Padi Devam Padi. Devam is not Ishwara. Devam is my generations. What my father has given is half of me. This house is not built by me. It's my father. All the trees around me is not planted by me. My father. He has not planted this thinking that he will eat the fruits of the coconut. Generations are enjoying it. The well water is not for him. It is for generations to come. Understand, every youth has got this potential to understand my kritam, my karmam is not for me. So while I am being fired in my graveyard, it is not that my son is not knowledgeable that this dead body cannot answer. He is well aware that this dead body cannot answer the question. It's actually for the youth, the young people, where the generation goes, my generation, as a youth, I must remember I've got a responsibility to leave something for the society so that I remain here. My work has to be not selfish, not for me, not for my family, not for my neighborhood. My contribution has to be something for the whole society. Reminding each one of us, Krito smarami, Kritam smarami. Think what is that you have done in your life. It is not for my family and for me. It is not for the salary which I am paid, I contributed back to the institute. No. What is that you have done beyond your institution? What is that you have done beyond your job? What is that you have done beyond your family? That is what is counted by real action. Karma in Bhagavad Gita is not your day-to-day affair of making idli and sambar. It is what is that you have done for the society as a whole. That is what is called karma. And do that ishta karma and purta karma. Ishtade lapade surgam purte moksham avapniyat. Purta karma, when you do, you get moksha. And that is what is to be taught. The Indian spirituality, the Indian concept of environment, the Indian scientific heritage, which talks about the science of life, the Indian heritage, which talks about the art of life. Life is not just living. Live in full enjoyment. That's why all my books have got title called Life. Live in full enjoyment. Learn in full enjoyment. Living is an investment for future earning. Every bit of my life, I must live with full happiness. And learning is most essential because Learn. Learn. After learning, you cut the L, you get earning. Money will come. The youth must get opportunities to learn as best as they can. as the great quality which they can, so that the whole world feels that the education in India is great. The product needs to be the quality test for other people to understand the producer is good. If I make a pickle bottle, somebody can taste and then say, oh, the producer is a good producer. Each student who goes out of India must be tested by the other nations and say, Indian education is great, so that they can send their children here. India becomes great not when Indian people go abroad and collect money and send it to India. I'm sure a generation from now, the next two generations, Indian people will not come back to India. There are a lot of countries in which the houses have been just abandoned. You imagine Kerala, 50% gets abandoned houses where owners are living in different parts of the world. Imagine the youth goes from here to different countries and all their parents also get settled. 50% of India. The same thing is going to happen in Punjab. I've been recently to Punjab. You will see only advertisements of Canada. Settle in Canada, migrate to Canada. Settle in US, migrate to US. That has become the just one word for every one of us. I'm sure Indian education should become strong. India becomes a Loga Guru, the master of the world, only when the world comes to India to learn, for which the technology provides a lot of opportunities. The strong base in the root provides a lot of strength and courage. Use these together to make India more strong. And I'm sure, being 60% of the Indian population, 1.4 billion, out of which probably the millions of them who are around us have got a great responsibility of taking shoulder the 600 million people between the age 18 to 25 who are being arrested in the higher education rooms. I keep saying the teachers are the soft warden in the and educational institutions are jails. They are just being put there, but the output product need to be more furnished so that the opportunities are not going out, the opportunities are created here. Unfortunately, the rate of the increase in the production of children have reduced, but the fertility rate probably is coming less than 1%, 0.98% or so. But for the next 20 years, youth population will be around 50 to 60%. So the one generation, we have a great responsibility. So after that, we don't know what the world comes. Generally, we talk about 21st century education. So recently, I wrote a book in which I also reflect in most of my books the word called 3-2-1 world. If you look at it, I've used the word 3-2-1 world. Why is it 3-2-1 world? It is not 21st century education. It is third decade of 21st century. We cannot talk about centuries long education system. There is no 21st century education. There is only third decade of 21st century. With that third decade of 21st century, the youth with that fast mind, they are much faster than all of us. Fast mind, they can do wonders. Pranams and salute and namaskaram to all of you for patiently listening. I think I spoke almost an hour. That's good enough. Less than an hour. If there are some questions on interaction required, I'll be open for all of you to answer. If at all I have got some good questions to answer, I'll be more glad than speaking. Good enough, Jalaja Kumari? Good enough, Prasida? If you want something else, you could ask me. Is it that what you wanted I gave or something else?
Yeah, let somebody else after that I will also.
Yeah.
Madam, your voice is very low, very less. Prasida, Dr. Prasida?
Yes, you are.
should imbibe in them that you have the surroundings, you have to be aware, and you should do something to for the betterment of our society as a whole. Not only, especially what you said, pre-primary education. It is so very important, and this focus, I'm sure our new national education policy would definitely be given to in that matter. And I'm sure in the years to come, whatever has fought for and whatever may change, I'm sure this will be shown. And I'm sure the youth will take inspiration from your words as well, sir. So thank you so much once again. And I would just request our regional director, Dr. JNAANAM also, to kindly introduce the topic. We are very grateful to sir for giving this various personal experience integrated in today's topic. And the take-home message what we have, we really create some more motivation for each one of us as we move through our life. That is what I want to submit as a gratitude and for what we have been listening to learn. And then we also take this opportunity to share about that the youth programs are also available in the portal and as courses, individual courses, and the admissions for youth programs are currently open. And as sir was talking, I just to take a small life skills from this, how we are going to teach our life and how we are going to see our life matters from what we have been pursuing so far. So are we really going to be get stuck, or it is going to give these opportunities to move ahead? And I will, one of my favorite thoughts for action is when we drive, generally we see a dead end and we get stuck to seeing it itself. But when we go near it, that's the opportunity for us to take either a left or a right. Or sometimes we just get a small bend and then we switch to the next lane. And we also have seen so many opportunities in our life which we have been missed. So is there any another opportunity? If yes, but how we are going to pursue it matters a lot. And we always talked about a donkey owned by a owner, and as the two-year-old donkey was thrown into the pit by the owner. But the donkey was so optimistic and he thought that every time the mud was thrown on it, it shook up and then it climbed up. And at one point of time, it could see the owner eye to eye and he said, I know you would have saved me by mistake because you have become old by mistake you have put me into the pit. So how are we when we are facing difficulty seeing the situation? Are we able to appreciate there is some other opportunity at our difficult situation? And do we really consider the situation in an optimistic manner? That is a small life skill which we want to integrate in today's program as we listen to various parts of action from personal experience of the resource person. And remember when every day tomorrow may sometimes become dark also. But please take one day at a time without worrying of what to do. And do as if you are going to do your best today. With this thought, I request Madam Dr. Jalvakumari to share two thoughts of her and also further Dr. JNAANAM. Thank you, madam. Actually, when SARS hearing sir's words, I think a tsunami of thoughts comes out, and always that was my feeling. Today also, that I'm thinking that nowadays, sir was telling that about Krishna Bhava. That is why Swami Vivekananda was telling, Uttishthata Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhyeda, like that. Now, administrators and the soft jailers, soft wardens of jails, they're always competing to showcase what they have done, and with that all foolishness, they are satisfied, and they are not at all thinking what is happening with that foolishness around. It's not the things happening everywhere, especially in education institutions, even among teachers. Actually, that is the Tushni Bhava. From not only at morning, from morning to evening, and always they are in the same way, I think. മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒരു ചൊല്ലുണ്ട്, ഉറങ്ങുന്നവനെ ഉണർത്താം, ഉറക്കം നടിക്കുന്നവനെ ഉണർത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഈ ഒരു അവസ്ഥയും നമ്മുടെ ഒരു വലിയൊരു കുഴപ്പമാണ്. ആർക്കും ആരോടും പറയാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു സ്ഥിതി. I know sir doesn't want to hear any negative, but this is not negative. This is a fact. I think our vision on education, when we are hearing such words, definitely people may have an inspiration to become something or to do some good. Actually, that is the effect of this reminder, which is given through the celebrations of such great people. And that celebration is being done by the inspiration and words of such great people itself, like sir. I am very much grateful to you, sir, for hearing all these things. Let me ask you one material question, means a reality question about our national education policy, sir. We are introducing, yesterday UGC was launching four-year undergraduate program, FYUP. Do you think that the four-year degree program will make a light? It will throw a light among the youth in a research-oriented mind or such a practice? Do you believe like that?
See, opportunities, Jalaja Kumari, your concern is really correct. Opportunities it comes and goes. The attitude is not changed. Opportunities will come and go. You will not even see them. So I believe any action comes, performance happens. This is DrTPS formula. Performance P is equal to action A or attitude A plus opportunity O plus skill. Now you create a new education policy. The early childhood education has to be informal. But you tell me how many teachers are aware of this in practical sense, how it is to be implemented on the ground. Still they are following NCERT syllabus, no change. I have visited maybe hundreds of schools in the last 1 year. See how they implemented new education policy. Nowhere it is implemented. They still call and then write that new education policy is implemented. Textbook is same, teacher is same, parents are same, students are same, classroom is same. No change in their pattern at all. Somebody has to have that courage. That courage is the attitude. You have skill, or skilled people are there who can make others also skillful. But where is the opportunity now? The opportunity has to come along with attitude. Opportunity O plus attitude A can create the sufficient skill, yes, then the change will happen and the performance will happen in a different style. So government can create only policies. NGOs can create skill. The attitude should come from generations. That has to come through education. See, I don't know how many people in India would have heard about what is called de-schooling. De-schooling is a great thing which happened almost 50 years back in America. It took 50 years, not yet implemented. They said, we don't want education in those schools at all. Let children learn from the society. That can be taught only when the parents are educated. India, we don't have parents who are educated where they can give sufficient education to the younger children. So my grandma childcare Shiksha Gurukulam, if somebody is interested, look at YouTube. You have got a lot of discussions, small places where it is being implemented, their sharing of experience. I go there for training people, conducting small workshops here and there as an individual, not as an institution. So if you look at Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam, what I have done is no classroom barriers. Age 3 to grade 3 in same classroom. No textbook, no writing, no letter, no pen, no pencil. But you will be out when you reach third grade with at least 6 languages, good interpersonal relationship, lot of mathematical skill, everything will be there. And you can challenge anybody. The child feels that I have to learn, not that the parents or the teachers feel that you have to learn. You tell me, Jalaja, in the early childhood education, the nursery, what is the maximum number of used words by teachers? I'll tell you, it is keep quiet. We are asking our children to keep quiet. Is it that our education system should tell? We must ask the young children to shout. I tell you, come to my camp, a violent child will become silent, a silent child will become violent. We have both. We need to transform children. What is most essential is transformation. A child has to be transformed from the home to the society. That will happen through learning your life. Why do you want London Bridge is falling down still to be learned? London Bridge is falling down 200 years back. It would have been fallen down now. You ask the teacher who teaches London Bridge is falling down, where is London Bridge? Look at London Bridge DrTPS on YouTube. I am explaining. London Bridge is not in London. It is in Arizona in America. How many KG teachers know this? How many educators in India know this? How many CBSE principals know this? See, what we do is we are closing our eyes and then seeing the whole blind world. We have got Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Your Guru is inside you. You have to open up that Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. Inside each one of us, there is a Guru. Open up the Guru is the Guru's job. Opening up that inside teacher is the original teacher's job. Atnana Timirandasya. Not having knowledge is like a cataract, Timiram. Nananjana Shalakaya. Apply some small kajal. That teacher who applies kajal to each student is the doctor. And that gives him knowledge. Nanam. That is why my house name is Nanam. That Nanam is where you get that kajal. You open your eyes with a lot of creativity, lot of opportunities will come. Opportunities are there. You are not creative. We get not skilled people. You tell me how many people are skilled in your village. You will see very hard to find somebody who is skilled. We have a MA English. But they can't even speak. They don't even know the grammar because Run and Martin is out of syllabus. In my childhood, I have learned Run and Martin. Being a mathematics student, I taught Run and Martin. You tell me how many PhDs in English knows all the 12 tenses. This is what our education system is. You can be a educator, you can be a teacher without being at least learning the basics. So London Bridge is falling down. You don't know where is London Bridge now. It has fallen down. Are you thinking critically? Why do you want to look at pine tree when no pine tree is around you and your textbook doesn't have jackfruit tree? That is why a locally changed syllabus or no syllabus. The teachers, parents, grandparents, the senior citizens in your village come together, play with the children so that they get a lot of education about their life and their life around their life. It's like a family getting together for a marriage, 3 generations mixed together. Can we have such an informal education for children? I am sure the next generation will become much more wiser, much more knowledgeable, much more human, much more social. That is what our great educators. I don't know how many of people have read My India, My Eternal India book by Swami Vivekananda. My India, My Eternal India, in which only 13 pages on education. His dream about education. I must have read it 100 times, but I did not understand a bit of it. It's such a tough English he uses. Fabulous English. Such a tough understanding of what India needs. My India, my eternal India. Look at, I don't know how many new education policy makers, the so-called great people learned from Philippines and German and all that. No, did they read Swami Vivekananda's education policy? Unfortunately, I have to say they are unfit. Unfortunately, I must say he was my boss when he was in Space Department. He must not have touched with his hand a small child in a LKG classroom. You must have that humanness. It is not political appointment with the credibility of writing syllabus and taking copy from different country. That should not be our policy. Policy should come from every village. We have got a Grama Sabha being planned in the decentralization which came in the economic development patterns in Kerala. My brother was one of the architect of that concept. Why not education system should have such a policy in which every village have got a different education system, no same syllabus throughout India. I've been traveling to different part of India. I am sure Jharkhand cannot follow what Kerala is following. So each parent, each society, each culture have got a different. But as a nation, we need to cross-cultural dialogue should happen. So it should not be conferences. It should be unconferences. Don't look at one centralized theme. Every people should come. A different theme should happen. Our education system has get just filling up the time. 365 days, 200 days, working days, in which we have got all the different activities. Like I was there in America in one of those schools. I was so happy to see they have sports day, they have annual day, they have culture day, they have also religious day. They learn different religious practices. They speak to different religious practitioners, ask a lot of questions. I was there to answer to them as part of a Hindu expert. And we had both sides sitting, Christians, Sikhs, Muslims, all the different religious people, and children have a lot of questions. Do you think our children of 8th grade, 9th grade, I must have gone to millions of students, I must have addressed, going to 10,000 of schools, I have not seen a student asking bright brilliant questions today, because we taught them keep quiet, don't ask questions. Do we have a generation who have got a lot of questions to the seniors? Tell me how many professors have got students who ask a lot of questions to them. I wish I've got some students around me all the time asking a lot of questions so that I can think, and what my guru has taught can be transformed into some knowledge to the next generation. No, very hard to get. Very hard to get. This is what is required as empowerment. Opportunities are plenty. We have got a lot of knowledgeable people. We have got lot of requirement of skilled people, but we don't find a carpenter who is skilled. We don't find a plumber who is skilled. Nothing. This is what is happening. So our education system should look at what is exactly required, produce them. Produce them as skilled people with an attitude. Attitudinal change is must. Yeah.
Still I remember the words of you, sir, 17 years back. An MSc physics holder who doesn't know how to fit a bulb which is
True.
fused.
True.
Remember?
Yeah. That's a pathetic. We have BTech who doesn't know how to open a computer, can be a BTech computer. We can have electric BTech or MTech, a professor of electrical engineering who doesn't know how to open his own switch box. Correct. This is what is happening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, Vijay Raghavan is unmuting.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaste.
On behalf of IGNOU Research Center, KOCHI, so I thankful to Dr. T.P. Kumar for the Deputy Director and Director of Central Security Cabinet Secretariat. So, Sir has delivered a great lecture, which is very good informative, and it has a lot of the ignition points. So igniting the minds is a very remarkable skill which has been done by Swami Vivekananda. So I think this lecture was very good informative towards our students and also participants. So I thankful to sir, and also I thankful to my colleagues Dr. Prasida Unikrishnan and Dr. Jalaja Kumari for arranging this lecture. And also I thankful to my regional director who supporting to arrange such a great lecture in the regional center for our learners. So which will be effective for changing their activity as well as attitude of the learners. So that is a very important. So education purpose is very, very important. That should be ensured by the teacher. This has been highlighted by our speaker, and I thankful to all our research center staff. Thank you very much.
President, unmute, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for hosting me, and it was a nice. Lot of people must have heard, and I'm sure it's getting recorded and it will be transmitted. I also recorded. It will be on my YouTube very soon. So big salute. My video is not coming, I guess, right? Yeah,
Video is not coming, but we are recording it, sir.
I'm
It is
in a
recorded.
I'm in a small
Definitely
village, so
share it to our YouTube link, and we will share the link to our other regional centers all over India, sir.
thank you
Because
so much, Dr. Jalaja. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then, sir,
Thank you, Cochin Regional Center, for hosting me. So kind of you.
Thank
So
you, sir.
kind of you, my director, all that senior people who communicated with me, all of you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.